Members of the International Alliance of Cannabinoid Medicine Patient Council, alongside other nonprofit organizations, will represent the rights of patients seeking legal, fair, and equitable access at the UN Commission on Narcotic Drugs in Vienna this March 14 to 22nd. The commission was established in 1946 as a functional commission of the UN Economic and Social Council and as the principal policy-making body within the UN system on drug control issues. This session is a midterm review of all international drug policy commitments over the next 5 years. This will be the first time that the IACM Patient Council will attend the Commission on Narcotic Drugs, with 6 representatives taking part, providing written and oral statements, and negotiating forums to help shape the debate and influence policy outcomes. The event has been described as a historic moment for cannabis activism, with the presence of patients and activists at a high-level event. While over 20 members of the European Union have legalized medical cannabis in some form, access varies greatly between countries. In Germany, the number of patients who hold prescription for cannabis are into the triple digits, although only a small portion qualify for medical reimbursement. Meanwhile, in Greece, where medical cannabis was legalized in 2017, patients still have no access to legal medicine. The issue that patients face with access are common to citizens around the world, said Jacqueline Poitras, IACM Patient Council co-founder and representative from Greece. The treaties and regulations that have been put in place definitely need to be revised and updated to support the rights and needs of patients today. Political agendas of some countries shouldn't be allowed to be an obstacle to safe and affordable access. Michael Kravitz, representative for the USA and executive director of Veterans for Medical Cannabis Access, also highlighted growing evidence to support cannabis as an alternative to opioid-based medications. Cannabis as an adjunct pain treatment produces better patient outcomes and reduces the need for opiates, said Kravitz. Canadian representative and founder of AUBE, the voice of medical cannabis patients, Daphne Elisma added, "It is essential that the barriers to safe and affordable access to medical cannabis be addressed on a non-discriminatory basis." Other members of the IACM Patient Council who will be in attendance are Tom Curran from Ireland, Dr. Pavel Kubu from the Czech Republic, and Kevin Herzig from Austria. I'm not an expert on international relations or politics. However, this historic event seems to be an important step in the global acceptance of medical cannabis. Since the UN is heavily influenced by the United States, this could be another sign that we are ready to reschedule or deschedule cannabis. When I think about this moment, starting in Northern California several decades ago and now blossoming to the international stage, it's clear that the medical or wellness benefits of cannabis are changing the global perspective. As the discussion continues, let's make sure to maintain a medical perspective to the end. This is Dr. Jean Talleyrand with High 9 News.
Dr. T, man, I feel like this is good news, but at the same time, I feel like this is just like a lot of lip service because, you know, the UN isn't going to get anything done. They're gonna fall back on the treaties that are in place that say that cannabis is bad and da-da-da-da-da-da. And this is just, I feel like this is just theatrics.
It feels like it. And like I say, I'm not an international expert. It feels like a lot of theatrics, but it may also be a sign that the U.S. is ready to change, that something's really is going to come down the pike from Department of Justice, whether it's something we agree with or not. That something is going to happen, and we're also taking this step on the international stage.
I hope they leave it alone.
I think it's happening all around the world. In fact, I think the headline today is that Germany just legalized, didn't they?
We'll get into that later in the show. We'll get into that later in the show.
But so isn't there just a trend amongst Western, industrialized world.
This is the thing, though. Legalization is not the goal. Okay, we covered a story here earlier in the week where there was a patient in Illinois. Okay, a licensed patient in Illinois that got their house raided for their home grow, and they were arrested, and their plants and weed were all taken away, and their rosin press. So people can say that that's legalization, but you know what? That's not legalization at all whatsoever. It's defunct. It's like, as long as you do this, then it's okay. But if you do this, then it's not okay. And that's not legalization. It's just ridiculous to me.
Yeah, and I think that people.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Elise.
I was just going to say, I think it's the same lip service that we've gotten from Biden and our own administration about there being actual changes here. And we can't really fault the UN, because the only reason the UN took the policy that it did on cannabis and drugs is because of our own war on drugs.
Correct.
They followed our policies. So
we fund them.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Jason. I mean, same with Florida wanting to make people felons for ordering Delta 8. So it's like, we're still going to throw people in prison for these other cannabinoids and ruin their lives while it's legal. It's just not making any sense.
Exactly. What were you going to say,
well,
Dr.
I think people on this council would agree with you too. The legalization is not, acceptance of cannabis. It's not access to cannabis. They're complaining, in their own countries that they're not getting access to cannabis, even though there's legalization.
Yeah.
So it's a long road down that way. But I still see this as positive news.
Not to mention, a lot of those people in those countries, Dr. T, they're getting all the boof from Canada, which is even sadder in the first place.
Maybe they should grow it on their own soil. I mean, Mediterranean climate seems pretty good for cannabis.
I mean, I think Mediterranean would sound amazing if they had some Mediterranean spice out there. You know what I mean?
You can ask anybody from the Native American population how our government honors treaties.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
What does a treaty really mean?
I mean, well, technically, Dr. Mark, today is National Dog Treat Day, and I'm pretty sure that that's pretty much all that they're good for is pretty similar as that. Yes.
I think we're talking about those kinds of treaties, right?
Yeah, exactly. Treaties, huh, Elise? You know all about those treaties for your little pup.
You take CBD treaties.
See what I'm saying? CBD treaties. Yeah, there we go. We're going to go to a commercial. We're going to be right back.